Hello, welcome to Dwarven Forge Live! Woo! This is on the Anvil episode 7? 7?
7.
7. Episode 7. I am Nate, and this is...
Macy. Hi.
Woo! Wait, are you calling yourself Macy?
No, it's just my real name, so it's Mace.
Wait, do we have to change your lower third?
No, please don't.
Okay. Alright, so you threw me there. So we are... So this...
Quarantine.
It's what?
It's the quarantine.
It's quarantine. Hey, oh, I'm hot on my audio levels. It looks like good. Alright, we're getting there. We get this one man trying to operate a thing at the same time. Alright, let's see if that's any better. There, it looks better. Alright, so, welcome. This is On the Anvil. This is the show where we show you behind the curtain at Dwarven Forge. Show you our process, which I describe as painfully analog. And just kind of show you what's cooking here, what we're working on, what inspires us, talk about the process, take your questions, show off the latest. What else do we do on this show?
We have our employees on and they showcase their best talents.
Our team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Team, yes.
All right. That's true. And and once we're back in the office, it'll be even more lively. We can sit down at people's desks and go through what they're doing and yada yada. We're making do right now in pandemic mode in my basement. Thus
so
the
your mic is still a little bit hot though.
At home edition.
There you go.
How is that? Yeah, somewhere
it's
in there.
Great.
Maybe we'll see. I'll end up drifting off mic anyway, and then it'll be okay. So what do we? So this week we are. We're going to look at. We're going to look at where the waterfalls are currently. You saw that in the pre-roll if you were watching. That's one of my favorite parts is watching the time lapse of the things I've done over the last couple of days. Sped up. It's really fun. So we're going to look at those waterfalls, and then we're going to play with. I wanted to play with the swamp banks some more with these awesome guys, and sort of look at. We did some negative space last week. That was last week, right? Time is blurring.
No. It was the week before.
Oh, right. Last week was Nina.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I'm losing my mind. Right.
No, time, man. Time doesn't exist anymore.
In Dwarven Forge world, time is already liquid in the Forge, and then you throw a pandemic on top of it, and it just sort of. Yeah.
Well, it's Wednesday, but it's like WHENS, like Wednesday.
Oh, I see what you did there. There's weird glare on your. How do I get this? I don't know. So anyway, we're gonna look at playing with the banks, sort of doing build like elevation changes with the banks and build a little castle on them or something. I don't know exactly. Well, it takes some input from you guys. And it's I was realizing some of this might be a little repetitive. Like we're kind of, this is probably the fourth time we looked at waterfalls and the second or third time we looked at banks. But it's the reality of the Forge, right? Things do not move fast around here, especially not in pandemic world. But like just in general, our process is slow and analog and meticulous. And there's also, there's a lot of stuff we can't show you. So there's other stuff going on. But it's everything takes a really long time, so it's I wish we could just show you something brand new every week, but there isn't something brand new every week. So anyway, I hope we can keep it lively for you.
What's cool is that we are showing like the development of behind the scenes stuff, like the waterfall just keeps growing and changing and everything. Nope. So.
And you know what? It's gonna change again, and then when this mock finally goes to sculpt, it'll change a bunch more, and it all. Hell, and then it might end up getting killed by the time we get to
it'll keep new even after it's on the table,
Yeah, well, or where we launch the Kickstarter and we roll the thing out, and then we get some really cool insight or feedback or scathing criticism that's really true, or something something that will then you might twist it during the Kickstarter and we're like, what, we're gonna redesign or change or whatever, or add a feature, or I don't know. It's part of the fun of doing Kickstarters. We have this feedback from you guys, and it makes our stuff better. and you mercilessly find the when there's a hole in the armor, you guys find it, and we have to patch it up, and that's great. No, it's wonderfully valuable to have that insight.
Smog's missing scale,
Smog's missing scale. Yes, and we have to build a new one out of dwarvenite. So before we get into our features, what's news from the north?
So from the north, as always, we have another stream next Wednesday of On the Anvil,
Woo!
always at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But additionally, before that, we're going to have a painting stream with Erin, who's been a painter for a long time. She's done a lot of the terrain stuff that you guys have used, and starts the whole process of how to make everything look natural and real. That's also at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it's on Tuesday of next week.
And she's going to be painting. She's going to be doing city builder buildings. So she's doing Tudor and stone city builder buildings. Maybe some bonus if she's got time.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
And then after that, we're gonna have more board games coming up.
Wait, one more about that. So I don't know if it's gonna happen, but the dream is gonna have a PDF that you can read along. If you want to actually paint along with her, there'll be a PDF you can print out beforehand. She'll say, okay, I'm going on to step 3, and she'll talk about the step, but you have a PDF guide there. Hopefully. So the idea is that theoretically a bunch of people are in quarantine, and might have some downtime to do some painting, and might have some unpainted city builder stuff, because we haven't done videos. We haven't done the joy of dwarven painting for city builders, so she's going to show that up. Anyway, sorry. So back to Vorpal Boardage.
Okay, that's awesome.
Let's turn this up.
So then we're also going to have Erin on again for On the Anvil at in a couple weeks from now, but before then, we're going to have more Vorpal board games, and one of the things that we'd like to know is we're going to have more D&D games, guys, don't worry, but besides D&D, if there's games that you guys want to see us do, try out and everything, as well as, I believe Nate, would like suggestions for On the Anvil.
Yeah, so we had 2 things. One, what sort of content would you like to see on this show? Right? Was there sort of some behind-the-scenes stuff that would be interesting to you guys? And then 2 is what if there were going to be some other applications of our terrain that would be fun to stream? What would you like to see? Would you like to see us play Zombicide using a board built out with Dwarven Forge terrain, or Clue built with a mansion built in Dwarven Forge, or I don't know, or something else?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we're gonna have more of those game streams rolling out. The build of the month that you guys actually kind of tuned into, but we're just part of the pre-build part of it. I believe that was 2 weeks ago. Also, that was the banks on the Anvil. We're gonna have that video going up this week, so keep a lookout for that. Very excited about that one. That's on our YouTube page. I think it's youtube.com/dwarvenforge. I should have looked it up sooner, but we'll be posting it all over social media. We do have a giveaway tonight, which
slow down. The build of the month should go up tomorrow. Selena was kicking out a cut right before we went on air, so I'll take a look, make sure it's all great, and then we go up. And it's kind of, I think it'd be fun for those of you that watched the building of the build of the month, which was what did you say, 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
Yeah. Then you'll see sort of where it all went, and I think it's a fun little story, and I think the build is kind of neat. So it'll be. You guys already saw the build, but you'll see it with the whole thing.
Well, yeah, and it's also cool because it's a build that people helped build. Kind of, this is the first kind of collaborative build of the month, I think. But
the whole concept, there was no we went in with just a stack of pieces and ended up with a submerged elithid nautiloid factory. So see what happens there, and then backing up the D&D, we have the date for that. It's the 27th.
Yep.
Yeah. So April 27th, we're going to be doing another D&D one-shot, right, on Vorpal Board, which will be fun. Do we have our lineup locked yet? What do we have lined up for our lineup?
So far, for sure, we have you, Nina, and then we have a couple others floating. So we have to figure out a few technical things out, and then we're gonna have other players as well.
So
yeah,
Chug the monk, the Warforged monk, and Selkin the High Elf Bard
they
will
might make
be
a reappearance. It might be
yeah.
new characters, but those two might be back. You know,
Those
might grace your screen one more time.
they'll be back. They're not going anywhere. Like it or not. Yeah. And we have some. We're doing some stuff to frame these games. We'll talk about it probably at the game and whatever. And then backing up one before that was not next week, but the week after. We're gonna have Aaron on the Anvil here, live painting some swamp stuff, showing the new paint scheme. So we have. This was our initial paint scheme, and we have a new revised one that's a little swampier, whatever. So she's going to be live painting that and showing some of the techniques and some of the things she does and whatever, and we'll be asking her questions and putting her on the spot, and I don't know. Well, all the stuff we do with Nina and Eli and in Paint World. So that'll be fun. At some point, we're going to try and get everybody on at some point. It's going to be a lot easier when we're back in the office. Like I really want to have you guys see Toby doing microelectronics and getting in there and like jamming LEDs in and figuring stuff out, and maybe even do a 3D printing armatures thing, or I don't know. There's a lot. There's fun stuff sort of in every corner of the forge that we can show off. And then we're gonna get Stefan's gonna come on as a special guest at some point. He's all fired up for that. And I don't know. We're trying to work everybody in best we can in this weird remote situation. All right. So what else? What else in news?
Through it fast.
I know. I'm like, we gotta milk this news.
I know. We gotta keep it going.
No, we gotta slow it down.
One,
and forge speed. We gotta.
There's actually right now happening. There's a Wormwood Kickstarter with it like has a lot of dice. Some of them are by like people that we've worked with before, like Satine.
Yep.
I think they also have Beetle and Grim dice, and then the third one is Ginny Die. D. Okay, Ginny D. But they all have special custom dice that they made for Wormwood, and then they have this like monstrous D20 for one of their like the people on their team, Big Tony, I think.
The T20. It's a solid tungsten. It's like a hunk of tungsten the size of my fist. It's like, yeah, it breaks tables and stuff apparently, and also happens to be. Anybody want to guess how much that die costs? $1,500 for one. For a 20-sided die. But so they have they kicked out the door like champs. They did $500,000 in the first 24 hours. So it just launched yesterday. So there's wooden dice and glass dice, and they have $10 sets of dice, like just was it red polymer, $10 polymer dice all the way up to if you want to buy a $1,500 D20. They also have these high variance dice, which it's a total misnomer because they're not really high variance. It's low variance. It's high. I don't know. One of our viewers will know.
It's high risk.
Yeah, high risk, high reward. It spikes the end of the spectrum. It pulls out all the middle numbers, and it's just like if there's 2 20s or 3 20s and 2 19s and 2 18s, and then nothing else down until you get to 6s, 5s, 4s, 3s, whatever. So it's like it's either really high or really low, and nothing in between, which is not high variance. It's like spikes.
It's the gambler's dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You either fail spectacularly or succeed spectacularly. So that's kind of interesting. These, and what else did they have in there? They have some new dice vaults and I don't know.
We've had a favorite dice collection too. I don't know if you want to say.
Oh, the raised obsidian.
Yeah.
Yeah, black on black. It doesn't get better than black on black on black.
Yeah, no, that
cool.
was like one of my favorite things that I saw too for it. I think my favorite overall, just like because it's tealish, and teal tends to be what I go towards. I like the undertow, but
good.
Yeah, lots of different dice choices.
Good Tool album too. So
yeah,
they're all good Tool albums. There are no bad Tool albums.
It just depends on what they name them.
Right. All right, so what else do we have? So go check out the Wormwood Kickstarter because it's awesome and it's running for another 28 days or something.
Yeah.
But get some cool dice to support those guys because they had to lay off a whole huge chunk of the company because they're all stuck at home and it's a mess. The whole industry is having a tough time right now. The world, not just the industry, but yeah.
Well, Tyler earlier this morning was also talking about it in the meeting where it's like, what a better time to like venture into escapism and everything, and I think that's like holds true. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
tough times.
it,
You gotta kind of learn to how to play in your fantasy and like live somewhere else.
when the world's on fire, play D&D. That's the
Yeah,
that's like when Nero
imagine a bucket of water.
yeah, when Rome is burning, play D&D. Violin
Yeah.
shaped D&D. All right.
Next we have the pre-orders in the works for the website.
Oh yeah. So you guys have been asking for this for a long time. We finally are working out the software, whatever. But we're gonna try doing some pre-orders for restocks. So we have. We'll see how it all goes. The dream is it'll go up next Wednesday during On the Anvil, so we can tell you about it live. And then we'll do another one in a couple months. But we have. Can't remember what's in this one. It's a bunch of stuff. It's a bunch of basic, it's like the remastered core dungeon and basic caverns and Hamlet, whatever. But I don't remember if the forest transition banks are in there or in the next one. But we know we're out of forest transition banks. Where are those things? And then we know they're like the most useful thing ever for Dread Hollow, and so that restock is in the works, and we'll have a pre-order for that, and we're doing a mega pack. So a Forest Transition Banks mega pack, so you can get all your banks in one place. And we added another inside corner to the basic pack, because there's not enough. There's 2 outside and 1 inside, so double those up. So anyway, so those are coming, a bunch of bits. So it's hopefully we can launch that next week, if not the week after. But something to look forward to. You can finally pre-order some of these sets and like lock your selections before everything sells out. Yay!
Yay!
Thank you, Johanna.
And then finally, we actually have something that it was a call for help you sent out a couple weeks ago to our viewers. Like, if you have any solutions for terrain trays and storage for them, like, please let us know. We've been having troubles with them, and like we know you guys have a lot, and we also like surprisingly have a ton too, because
go fig
of a company. But
so point to your lower right.
My lower right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there, yeah.
So Roger Gilbert and Asa Campbell actually suggested
these guys.
this to have our terrain trays on.
I'm so excited by this thing. Like, anyway, so this was the suggestion. It's like a paper holder, but it's perfect for train trays. I only put a couple in here because it's the box itself is heavy. Then you put train trays in here and you can't even move it anymore because it's so heavy. But it's like these are perfectly sized to fit a whole bunch of train trays. Plus, you can pull if you want to. You can pull the dividers out and have less dividers. If you want. I like it because it will hold them because they're heavy. But yeah, it's my new favorite thing ever. Thank you, the brain power of the Dwarven Army. Pretty unstoppable. So thank you for this. From now on, all of our train trays will be wonderfully organized. I couldn't put anything in here because I had to move it. Like, even I can barely lift this as is. It's hefty.
Yeah, I remember that cart that we originally had terrain trays in. Even that would not budge.
Yeah, that was on wheels.
Like a moving small drawers thing. So
yeah. So thank you guys for this. And then of course immediately I was like, well, maybe we should have like Wormwood make custom Dwarven forged train tray things and weird exotic woods and stuff. I don't know. Would anybody want that? Let us know. So thank you. This is the best.
All right. And then, as always, remember to stay updated with our Wildlands stuff. If you would like to know when the latest is happening with our Kickstarter, that's dwarvenforge.com/wildlands. I'll post it in the chat right now.
I want to know what's happening with our Kickstarter.
Right.
Our business is very dependent on running successful Kickstarters. And we've had 7 great ones. So we're gearing up for our 8th one, Wildlands. It's just a bunch of the stuff we're showing here today, like cool new wilderness pieces. When that's gonna happen, I don't know, because the world's on fire right now. But we'll keep. So the best way to find out is to go sign up for we'll mail you out when it happens, and just keep watching the show. We'll let you know. And that's a good question for you guys. So when would you want to see us launch a Kickstarter? Like, when do you think when do you think the wallets and emotions will be in the right place to do a big ridiculous Kickstarter? Well, put it in the comments. I'm curious what people's thoughts are. But for now, sign up, and we'll let you know when it happens. And that's the best way to support us too. Is those Kickstarters. That's really what keeps us going.
Yeah. And then besides that, if you just want to join our community, feel free to join our Facebook page. I think once we hit 1,000 group members, we're going to actually have a giveaway, which we love giveaways. We're like the Oprah Dungeons and Dragons, it turns out. But if you want to join that, it's the official Dwarven Forge fan page on Facebook. We also have a Discord, we have Twitter, we have Instagram. Feel free to follow us. And I mean, there's more chances to actually be in like contests and like do giveaways and stuff by following us. But
what's the link to the Facebook? Can you tell people that?
Put it link in there? Oh yeah, I can post it. Well, the thing about the link is that we couldn't make it public. I think
right.
So people do have to ask for it.
Well, how do they request? How do they request that?
A link. Yeah. Just request to be added in, and then we'll add you in immediately.
The aren't we at 1,000? We've been like inches away from 1,000 forever. What's going on?
It seems like we're at so we're 103 away from 1,000.
103. All right. Wait, weren't we that last week? I thought we were 100 away. Well, anyway.
I mean, we're at 897, so maybe 3 people got really upset and had to leave.
Yeah,
because they decided analog and like flat world. They're like flat earthers now, so they're flat D&D worlders.
Purely on grid. Well, we when we hit 1,000 people, we're gonna give away. What were we giving away? A set of Dread Hollow or something? It was absurd. It was it was
something big.
I think it was signed. It was signed prototypes, resin prototypes from Dread Hollow, and something else Dread Hollow related. I don't know. That'd be cool. But anyway, it's free stuff, so.
So feel free to join that. Be eligible for even another contest or like giveaway. It's also a great way to see other people's builds. Like I've been very surprised by how like clever and like I don't know, just like people are basically secret engineers where they can make things out of like new geometry I've never thought of with our pieces.
Did you see the hedge maze that Cindy?
Yes.
Oh, man, I have that. Wait a second. How do I?
It's insane. For the people that haven't seen it yet, while Nate pulls up the photo and everything, it is insane. There is a question from Chris. Nate, did you make that terrain tray thing yourself, or did you buy it?
No, we bought it. We'll put a link up. It was a suggestion by a couple of viewers on one of our episodes. I said we need a terrain tray solution. It's amazing. It's for storing paper. Boring.
Yeah.
So
I think it's like for scrapbookers, but it turns out to be also for hobbyists. So I'll post that link in the chat now.
These guys are going to be like, why are all these people ordering scrapbook paper holders in the middle of this pandemic?
I mean, tiny place in Minnesota, go support them if you like. I think their shop's actually closed now. I did reach back out to them about getting 2 more for you. So we'll see.
Is there any other news? Oh wait, we didn't talk about what's the giveaway tonight. How do because it's different, right? How do people get in on the action?
So the giveaway tonight is actually based on sharing on social media. We have a post on Twitter, we have a post on Facebook, and we have a post on Instagram. It's just if people share that, they're able to actually be eligible for the giveaway, because we kind of wanted to open it up for more than just the people with accounts on Twitch, which, like, if you're on Twitch, thank you. You are still eligible to win. You just have to share that photo that we posted. It's of a waterfall, and it's promoting the stream tonight. Did
you put the link on the thing so they can do the thing so they can?
Yeah. I'll post one for the Facebook, one for the Twitter, and then one for the Instagram, so that if you only have one of those social medias, you're not sucked into a corner. But yeah, we have another starter dungeon for that, and we'll be giving it away at the halfway mark, so it is US only also.
I'm pulling up this hedge maze. Let's see if I can get this in.
We're both pulling up social media stuff. Let's see who can do it faster. It might be me, just because it's already saved. It's an unfair fight. Hedge maze, like, it's so cool, and I actually queued up a post for it on social if you're not able to find it. So
I think this is it. Yeah. All right, is that on the screen? Stream? Can people
it
see it?
is,
Oh wait, I
yes.
have to get this as the.
You have to shape it.
Man, I'm bungling this live. You get to see it.
Yeah, it's live.
And
Hey, it's free content, guys.
there we go. Look at that hedge maze. That was awesome. And then she's got all. It was like a garden for cryptids or something. Look at her book collection back there. It's pretty awesome.
Well, I was also blown away by the fact that all those hedge maze walls are straight walls.
Yeah, wait till she has the curved ones from Plaguestone. Yeah.
Insane.
We should, you know what? We should feature a picture every week on the Anvil.
Ooh, that's a great idea. I'm gonna add that to our list.
Yeah, look at that treehouse back there. There's all sorts of fun. Yeah, we should do that. How do I get rid of this? All right. All right. What else? Any other things, or should we start looking at some stuff?
All over in weather over here. Back to you, Nate Taylor.
Thank you. Sounds like things are wild out in the field there, Ms. Griffin.
Yeah, it's stormy. It's very stormy, but we're keeping it under wraps. We have umbrellas. We have cute coats on us and on our dog, so everything's great. Momo's fully protected. Don't you dare worry about Momo. He's great.
I'm never worried about Momo. He's in very good hands. Are there any questions from the viewers before we go look at waterfalls?
Yeah, so we actually started off with a couple. One of the first ones was actually a 2-question one by Nerd Debauchery.
Yeah, we love them.
Will DF release dirt roads for forest builds?
At some point. That's all I can say. I will not say when or where or whatever, but yeah, we do need some dirt roads for sure.
Will there be forest to swamp transition pieces for wildlands?
So that's a very, very good question. So one of our core ideas with the swamps was to make them essentially what makes a swamp is that there's water, right? There's some sort of liquid in an area, like in an otherwise, right? And there's, I guess, Eli can tell you the 4 different types. There's swamps, bogs, marshes, and fens. And there's
it's all just like aquatic / land types of terrain.
Well, it's like a bog, I think, is surrounded by land, and it's just like a part where the like water, rainwater collects, versus like a marsh or a swamp is fed by some other water, and a fen, I don't know, it's just a swamp with a British accent or something. I don't know. But there's like he can tell you that there's a lot of specifics on it. But anyway, moral of the story is it's just woodland or rayland that has some water in it. So basically, our core building blocks in the swamps are all banks, because the idea is there would be something, be it mud or soggy water or just wet ground or whatever underneath it. So we made them so that they work. They're going to play really nicely with your existing forest pieces, so you literally can seamlessly sort of transition to them and back the swamp pieces. In fact, they don't even need to be swamp pieces. They can be forest pieces. You could use them to make a forest river or different elevation heights, as you're going to see as we go. But then, of course, you can swamp it up with more decorative bits, throwing some, the different types of flora and maybe some fauna and different terrain trays, and there's a bunch of options to extra swamp it up. But the core pieces themselves are going to basically all be transition pieces. So you can just go a bunch of stuff you can do with them. So hopefully that'll. The idea is we want to give you a lot, as many options as we could with these things, so you can you'll be able to do a lot with them. Hope that answers that one for you. Can't wait to show all this stuff. Like once we have,
I know.
Once we have it all.
Even what we've shown on stream is so exciting to just see again because it's so new.
Yeah. Well, and have it all. Like we still don't have a lot of stuff in hand, and I don't know. We're getting there.
Yeah. And then the next question we have, Finley Shards wants to know how many foam tiles you go through every week.
It depends on the week, and it depends on how big the thing is, and whatever. Like this has been I've only done two. I don't think I've only done 2 sheets this week. But like there was right before we moved, there was a week where I went through a box and a half or 2 boxes. I remember there was a week where Mace, I was like, Mace, I need like 6 more boxes quick. I'm burning through these, and then I haven't. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It depends on size and how much time I get to actually do mocks versus everything else.
And I
That's a good
feel like
question.
with some pieces versus other ones, it just demands a lot more foam. And
Mhm.
there's two different types of foam you actually use. The one you've been showing on stream is the knitting tile one, but you also use these little cubes sometimes.
These little 1-inch cubes.
So it depends
Um,
on what you're making, the like intensity of the piece, because I know that you do a lot of carving on the flat foam tiles, but then you also like just prefer the cube ones for when you're building something that
vertical.
is like not a perfect square, but something more in that platformish area.
Vertical. The cubes I use for If I have to like most of the wilderness stuff, I'm using these these for because they tend to cover a lot of area and tend to start flat and then have some stuff. But like I don't know, anything with a lot of vertical, like a lot of the hellscape stuff I did with cubes. And I don't know. We've got double thickness foam like this. We've got a variety of foams. Foam Smith is always prepared with their foams. That's good questions. It's good to see you back, Finley. Ollie, speaking of repeat investors, is Justice logged on and watching? Let me see how that
I
guy's.
haven't actually seen him in the chat yet, but let me see.
I want to see how his tooth is. He had like a root canal gone awry or something that's now flaring up in the midst of a pandemic. So he's like trapped, unable to get dental care, and has like an exploding tooth. Oh. Any other questions, or should we look at some
I have
waterfalls?
not seen any other questions.
All right. Well, let's switch cameras. What are we doing
All
here?
right.
We are. Let's start with the triple. All right. So, we got a close up of a knife. So, waterfalls. I don't remember where we were last we left our intrepid heroes, but I did some geometry review with the team today. Eli, Michelle, Aaron, Nina, and Toby. And everybody's pretty happy with this collection of stuff that I have, which I'll show you. So it's probably what we're moving forward with. There's still a few question marks and a few things I have to work out. I haven't 100% figured out the transition to. I haven't figured out exactly how the banks are all going to pan out with it and whatever, but it's pretty similar to the last thing we looked at. So I have a core tile as a thing, and we've got a bunch of really. Thank you guys for the people have posted some stuff up in Discord. That's been some interesting inspiration and some other ways to skin this. I love seeing the. Swing the microphone. Ooh, hooga. There we go. Microphone. Is that? All right. Move. Well, is it weird to see the camera? It doesn't matter.
It's a little bit in frame, just like the tiniest smidge.
Oh, the microphone.
The microphone. There you go.
Hello, and how's the level? There we go. All right. So anyway, so this is sort of the core piece. Is going to be this cool curvedy block. Then we have. So I toyed with. I had two. I think we looked at this last time. We had two different sort of variations that had some stone on them. This one has the removable bit, and we can stick this to like one of these things. So it becomes a neat little sidecar that we can pop in other places. Like this was the piece that Eli was sculpting on stream, so we could pop this thing in, and it had a couple of holes there. Maybe some other step options there. So then these two, it was like Thunderdome, right? They both entered, and two mocks enter, one leaves. This guy died because this guy was doing better things. He had options. or it, they, I don't know.
Can I tell
Uh,
you something super embarrassing?
oh, this is the perfect place. It's the internet. What are you?
Okay, I watched the entire Biodome movie, seeing Polly Shore and like waiting for a motorcycle, only to find out like it's not the
It
Mad
wasn't
Max.
Thunderdome. It wasn't
No.
Beyond Thunderdome. It was Biodome.
I was like, when does like all the
We've.
badassery everything talks about start? And it never did.
When does Mel Gibson show up and just like start kicking butt? Right? Yeah. Yeah. No, he never.
So that's another one of the few movies I've seen, I guess, but not necessarily by choice.
That's heartwarming. I enjoy that tale. That's awesome.
No, it's horrible. But there you go.
Thanks for sharing on the internet. So anyway, so we got these two guys, and then newcomers. Oh, and we have the footer, right? So there's a thing, so you can have it spill out. The idea is we'd flank this with some sort of stone, whatever. This footer can also, if you want to do, so you can stack them for multi-height. If you want to stagger it back, you could stagger it back and do that with the floor or whatever. If you want to go back one more, you can use the footer. Whoa, I'm out of camera. Focus.
There you go.
We can stack it like that. You can swap these in and out. The footer fits on the back of that real clean, like right up against the rock, so you can feed. What is that? You can drop another thing down, like yay. And then with the newcomers, so we have a little guy, a 1-inch, which is going to help us getting to 3-inch options. So kind
Cool.
of, yeah, the fiddly shards. This is the little fiddly bit that's going to help us. Well, just between the 1 and the 2, you can get all, any number you want, even or odd for sizing. It was really 2 inches is really important for compatibility with caverns. But then the other new guy is exciting. This was I think this was someone was sketching a thing like this on maybe Discord. Maybe it was Finley Shards. Maybe it was somebody else. I don't know. And this originally, where did it go? This started as, I was originally going to do, once again, this was going to be like a 4-incher. And I realized, geometry review, it was like, well, it's not really doing anything in 4 inches that it couldn't do in 2 inches. So it's looking at 2 inches. And the idea with this is it breaks the profile, right? Everything else has the same profile. This one is a more gradual spill down. Does something like that. So it doesn't go perfectly side by side, although you could, but you could also offset it by an inch. That does work. But it's mostly so you can do a gradual thing if you wanted to.
The rock on the slope one also makes it feel natural, even if it's like not maybe like synonymous or like just like immediate. It just makes for a more natural feeling break.
Yes. Is also just gonna look good sculpt wise, like or so it gives you kind of a more gentle slope, and or you can do a plunge down to it, so you could have it's gonna fit. So this guy could come right down. Wait, I keep drifting. There we go.
Also, Chris says he believes that both Finley and Subtalon were the ones that suggested the idea.
Yeah, very distinct possibility.
Yeah.
Subtalon's a sharp cookie. So you could do that sort of thing, or you could even go up higher and do it down. You can do this sort of a gag. And then, of course, you can also use it to go similar to feed. You could go right up to this and go down like yay, or you could give yourself some breathing room and do something like that, or you could have it drop down to this first, or this could drop down. I don't know, lots of modular options, but it gives you gives you a little variety in your slope. Also, I think Michelle was suggesting maybe doing a half height one. We might wait for an expansion. I don't know. We'll see. This right now is 4 pieces right now, which is like perfecto. And then yeah, right. Oh no, it's 5. I can't count. So it's 5 pieces, which is exactly I wanted to be 4 or 5 pieces. So that seems like the minimum to do something interesting. And then if it's
Speaking of modular, Dice for Hire said that he cut one of his straight streets into 4 pieces to help his cities match up with his forest last night.
oh, how'd that work out? I want to see some. I want to see some photos. I bet they're on the forums, right?
I mean, probably if it's Dice for Hire,
Yeah,
he's been a long time forumite.
He's been all over the forums for like 100 years. Yeah. So anyway, so that's the latest in Waterfall World.
Have you adapted the foam mocks at all for a room behind the waterfall?
You know, we were talking about that today in the meeting, and there's a lot of like. So no, the there's something we're working on that may help that and whatever, but like fundamentally, like I was thinking we could do a shell piece, and that could then have a thing under whatever. But it starts getting very sort of fiddly and specific and whatever. But there was 2 things, 2 revelations. One was this existing piece is almost the same profile, the existing Caverns waterfall piece, right? So there's potential something could be done with that, move it out, and or it's easy enough to, let's say this was your thing you were building out, up from here. It's easy enough to say, okay, you move the waterfall thing, and you've got your tunnel right there. Maybe you just pop out the 1 block, and it's surrounded by stone, whatever. You can pop out the thing, and you've got your hidden tunnel pretty easily. So
that's great.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I really wanted to have some sort of neat waterfall reveal with a thing, but I think ultimately I don't know how many times you're going to do that gag, and I think it's better to have the beautilarity, right? The modular and beautiful pieces that work great, and give up that gag, because you can still do it essentially with, if you lift the thing and whatever.
It seems like the chat's excited about this idea too, so it's a very good solution.
Yeah, we're trying to weigh all. You can't make everything work perfectly, but we're trying to weigh everything in on it. Oh, the other thing that works fun is like this transition piece from Caverns Deep is also going to play pretty nicely with this waterfall. Oh, wow. Yeah, so that buys us something. I don't know what, right? So you could do. Oh, you know what I need to do? If people in forums are complaining that I don't hold the pieces long enough in place so they can get good screenshots. So remind me to leave stuff in place long enough for a decent screenshot.
We can do a highlights reel at the end of the stream too, when we're just answering questions and stuff like that, if you want.
Anyway, so there's some possibilities of that, and yeah, I don't know. We'll figure out where it is, but yeah, we're playing. But yeah, it's like this is a classic example of like stuff just takes us a long time to kind of hammer out all these things and get to a place, but especially because there's just no right or wrong answer, right? You're just, I don't know. There's 1,000 different ways you could approach them, and there's no wrong way to do it. So I'm trying to find an interesting one inch. I guess there is a wrong way, right? There's lots of wrong ways, but I'm trying to find one of many possible ways to approach it.
Ooh, is there a piece that you think has no mutilarity?
It's neither modular nor beautiful?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
You don't want to call one out?
There's got to be something. There's definitely a couple of pieces that just drive me crazy, that are like, that offend me. They vex my eyes. I got one for you.
Okay, what is it?
Oh, see if I have it in hand. So, is it here? The no. Huh. No. I thought I had it around here. No, it's always easier to demonstrate, but I don't have it on hand. So it's the precursor to the Burroughs. The Burroughs piece that appeared in the Wicked Editions Caverns add-on set in the Kickstarter 2 Caverns. So it's this weird horseshoe shaped thing that has a 5-way grid denoted by worms on the center of it. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't really look like it. Just sort of like it's a thing that should have. It was the precursor to a thing that worked really well. Like I thought the Burroughs are awesome, right? They're versatile and beautiful and do all these things. And this was the thing to get there, but it shouldn't have gone into production. And it doesn't do it. It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't do anything. And it doesn't even work with the Burroughs. I don't know. It was an alpha version that shouldn't have got made. It got to a great, like, the Burroughs were awesome. It led the way there, but it was not like we shouldn't have put that thing in production. But yeah, I wish I had one floating around the other. So wait here. By next week, so part of my many tasks down here in the submarine, I've been sorting out terrain into sort of quick draw cabinets, so I have quick samples of kind of every environment, but they're not here. I don't have them all up yet. I haven't gotten to all that. I just started pulling out some dungeon stuff for her. But by next week, I should hopefully have stuff quickly on hand so I can play this piece. But it's a good question. All right, so are there any questions about waterfalls before we... Are we done chasing waterfalls?
Well, there was a few questions about the secret access tunnel, but that's been answered now, so
okay.
I haven't seen any other ones.
Weren't people asking about... Plague Stone? Am I making that up?
No, for the past few weeks, people have been wondering about Plague Stone and Pathfinder situations.
Oh, I can put this in here. We don't have any. We still don't have any new. We don't really know yet. We vaguely know. Where did I put it? I wrote down paper. We still believe that Hellscape is going to be shipping in June and July, and then Plague Stone on the tail of that probably in August. See, saw it here first. But I don't know. I think it's like they're cooking away on it. They're cranking away at the factory. So they're moving. But I don't know. There's still a lot of shipping could I don't know. There's a lot that just because it hits the dock and in June doesn't necessarily mean we'll actually. Or hits the dock or hits the water in May and we get it in June, or get it in May and start shipping in June. I don't know. There's a lot that could happen between here and there. A lot could happen with the boat. There's a lot that could happen with customs. With I don't know. There's with the state of the pandemic, it's hard to say. But right now, it's what we think is happening. But I do have. Did we show these test shots on?
They look new to me. I don't think if we did, it was in that huge mass of test shots. So
I don't know if we looked at any of the Plague Stone ones. So
I also am curious. I'm not superstitious.
Yeah.
But do you think that by having Hellscape and Plague Stone in the same year, we caused this whole thing?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
When you dabble with
summoning circle,
dark magic's as powerful as this. Yeah.
Well, better luck next year.
Yeah.
It'll be like Jumanji.
That's Wildlands, right?
It is.
Yeah, great. Is this working? Yeah. Okay. So these are some Plague Stone test shots. They're not painted, so it'll look cooler when it's painted. But this is the Arcane Power Core This was a cool piece that Michelle did. And what's exciting, besides the beautiful sculpt and the pulsing bit, is the base piece. Man, I did not light for test shots. What am I? Every week I never learn that I might surprise myself. This is a stone JST base piece, so you can put all of your, your gargoyle. Oh wait, I have some on here. Look at this. Ha! So you could put your chromatic orb on there, or your. Well, maybe that's the only thing I have. Well, nope, I have mine. Got my Eldritch Eye. No, I do not. There you go. What else do I have in hand? Yeah, so, and then conversely, you can put this thing on your Cavern's Deep basalt base. And this thing's gonna be neat when there's all these patterns that are to be opaque, that are, and runes and whatnot. Classic Michelle details in there. So we got that thing cooking. So I'm excited about this base because we don't have a stone JST base. It'll look neat in the dungeon, in the caverns, and I don't know, wherever you want to put it. And then, oh man, do not put the test shots back in the stuff. We've got this thing I'm super excited about. Oh wait, we have
Yeah, that one looks the most interesting for me. Like, it looks like an apothecary kind of thing.
Yeah, this is from the Evil Alchemy Lab. Here is, let's see if that helps a little. All right, so this is the got this little evil altar. And Pavel did all these cool little arcane symbols. Woo! And this thing has got. Can't wait. I don't know. Just we don't have the paint. I don't have paint masters, or at least not here. I don't know. Being in, having an office and not an office is. So we've got these pole accessory manacles, which are little. You can actually spring them around your.
The thing that we had at Gen Con for Pathfinder was so disturbed with those. Like, that was the part where it's kind of like, that's a little too nasty for me.
Yeah, they're metal now, and they hold. Exciting. And this guy, yeah, this is the disturbing guy, right? The cadaver, and you get the phylactery staff. Man, I don't have lights for all this stuff, but do we have, I wonder if we have high-res pictures somewhere that are easy to see on the internet. Man, I can't even hold this. Much less a longer lens. Table of instruments, bone saw, big hatchet, all the good stuff you want. Bucket of limbs. I guess I have a walkthrough video where I show all this stuff off on the website. This is the guy that gets you, right? The cadaver experiment. He's got like a chicken leg grafted to his.
Oh yeah, that one's nasty too.
Yeah, he sits on the. He lies on the altar and gets put on. And then here's the. Obviously, way cooler when it's finally painted. But this is the. What do you call it? Hellfire Furnace, I think, or something. So it's got these dragon heads holding over the hot coals and these cool things, which would be like lightly greenish, whatever. And then it has this cauldron that sits on there, and then the whole thing will light up. Yeah, these alchemy supply bits, like the alchemy lab. There's all these accessories are gonna get people pretty excited. I think they're. We got some neat stuff in Plaguestone, and we'll get them all in the web store once the thing, once we've shipped out everybody that pre-ordered, we'll get the rest in the web store.
Whoa!
And all the new stuff is in packs, so it's easy to get. So you don't have to get, if you already have all the dungeon stuff. You don't have to get the dungeon stuff. You can just get the new bits. You can get across the board lots of new bits. This guy's in there. The Poison Bloom is in there. A painted version of that, and this was the first. This was a Wildlands piece essentially. The base is Wildlands compatible. Yay.
Woo.
Yeah, so that's all we've got for Plaguestone. All right, let's look at anything else before we look at.
We are a few minutes away from the giveaway, so I just want
Oh.
to remind people to go share on social about
Ooh.
the posts that we sent. I'll post them again in the chat, and then people have 3 minutes to enter.
Oh, this was another Nina when the Vine Lasher. That was.
Nina's so like she is inspired by morbid and like kind of like gross stuff, but she's also like fantastic at it.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it does actually make me kind of cringe a little bit whenever I see one of those pieces.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, here's that curved. It's the curved thorn wall. The shell piece. Ooh. Yeah, the Vine Lasher, the evil pomegranate. It's like a pomegranate. Oh, this is. Oh wait, we also have. Here's some stuff Eli did for it. We have the curved cage, which has this one is hinged door. And then we have the cage with the broken broken bars. There's a regular curved cage that doesn't have a door, but I don't think I have it here. Anyway. Alright, that's Plaguestone for the moment. And so everybody knows what they need to do for the giveaway? I guess is it closed? Their last chance?
Their last chance. I'll give it one more minute. This is your last chance.
Last chance for real.
Yeah, last chance for real. But go ahead and go share a post on any of our social media. It can be our Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. I'm posting them all in the chat. Here's the Instagram one, and the rest are just there. Good luck. Go share that post. It is US only, so you have a chance to win. It's a starter dungeon, which I think we might have a graphic for.
Oh, yeah.
No? Okay,
yeah.
So starter dungeon's awesome because it's very versatile, but then it's small, but it gives you enough pieces that you can build a lot of different encounters and rooms with it. And it's a good taste at like maybe using some terrain in your games if you don't already use terrain.
Well, it's all the bread and butter. Like you never can have enough walls, floors, corners, doors.
Absolutely.
Chairs. So it's like all the basic, the stuff you're just always gonna need. I love. All right, I think I'm clearing the deck here. So, I have a new system because I was always taken over this. My workbench would get taken over by these builds, and it was really, the next morning I couldn't do anything because I had all this big build I had to deal with and whatever. So, let's see if this works. We're going modular tabletop.
Woo!
Yeah. And for next week I can paint the thing black so we don't have to deal with it. Woo! Because, who wants to look at a white thing? Ugh. So then, that is. Okay, all right, wait a second.
Well, while you're doing your setup,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and draw the giveaway. So I could take a drum roll if you don't want to drum roll it. I hear you. Don't worry about it. I'll imagine it. But the lucky winner is it's on Twitter and it's at CSUPiot.
What?
CSUPiot? I don't know. Their real name is Christian Suppiot. So congratulations, you have won.
Woo!
I'll be messaging you to figure out details and everything. Hopefully you have a lot of fun with your starter dungeon.
What do they need to do? Nothing? They just have to respond to you?
Yeah, I'm just going to message you on Twitter, and then I'll ask for your email, and then I'll email you all the details that we need to get you your starter dungeon.
Woohoo! Yay! Thanks for playing. All right, so we are going to build something. I don't know what. This is what I was playing with this weekend, which is kind of hard to see in the overhead. You know what I should do?
What should you do?
I'm gonna change the lens on the camera. Just hold the.
That's crazy.
I know. I'm getting wild.
I'm getting a little too irie right now.
The other problem with the problem with the overhead cam is now the overhead.
Do you know how to do
The
puppets,
the
hand
white
puppets, shadow puppets?
the white is really confusing the poor overhead camera. It wants to be like that.
Do a rabbit.
I have to paint it. Wahoo!
A rabbit shadow puppet.
Oh, right. Wait, no,
It's
it's a
a shadow
dog.
puppet. There you go. Well, that's yep, a little barker.
Yeah, turns out a dog is not a rabbit.
No, but that's okay. Rabbits are tricky.
And tricks are for kids.
Yes, they are intended for children.
Hey, your your time in showbiz didn't work out. Huh?
No,
The
that's
line
actually a
was
robot
tricks are for
chicken
kids.
quote.
Oh.
There's a
You know, I never watched Robot Chicken. I should love. I mean, it's like kind of it should be everything I love, right? Because it's like 80s nostalgia, it's stop motion, it's nerdery, it's like every let's see oh, it's a little hot. Hold on.
I think so. My parents bought me a DVD of it for my birthday because I asked for it and they had no idea what I was talking about because we didn't have cable at the time. But then after having had it, I think I was like 13, and it's the first birthday gift I had to have taken away and access revoked from. So, oh.
Were there others?
I mean, I also my sister once one
God,
year
this
tricked me
white
into
is
asking for
terrible.
Clueless for my birthday, which is a movie I'd never heard of and didn't really
You were
care for, but I
you were
love my
clueless.
sister a lot, so I was like, yeah, I'll get her whatever she wants, and then they had to take that away too.
You were clueless about Clueless.
I was absolutely yeah, I was ignorant and clueless about it. I think there was a third one, but I don't know. I am just good at asking for things that my parents, I guess, didn't want to give me after having reviewed.
Yeah.
It's hindsight.
But they've mellowed out a little in their
Yeah,
age now.
for sure.
Coming around.
Nerd Botchery says the best part of the show is the inspiration it gives you for your own builds.
Woo! Well, hopefully we can give a little inspiration tonight. So this was I was playing this weekend with the these clear overlays, right? We have these. You make these overlays that you can put on the terrain trays to give a to give a sense of moving water. So you can take the regular terrain tray and you make sure let's go this way. Put this on to give both give it some gloss and give it some movement. We got some straight ones, curved ones. So I was trying to I don't know if you see the let's try. Oh, we'll go to the overhead. All right, so you can sort of see the whites. It's giving it this flow. Anyway, I was trying to play with that and then do the do a step down. Boop boop boop. A step down, just one floor height here using this the cavern's transition piece. But these are all the old banks. Although I guess I wanted to do banks on land, but I don't know. We'll get there. I don't know. We'll just play. We'll see where it goes. So and I guess I was kind of wanted to show what the thinking on some of the geometry was, right? Like the I guess we kind of showed it last week, but these swell pieces are right because I feel like this sort of a thing here where I hate you don't want a river to just go straight forever. You want to offset it, and doing like do these hard 90 degrees all the time is a little wonky. So this kind of once again is a hard 90 degree bit, but we could do this whole maybe it should be overhead. Oh, let's try the bow. Let's do.
Major Higgins would like to know how you keep your banks from popping 1/4 of an inch inward due to the magnets.
I don't. On this one, I'm using the oversized trays on this one.
Mm.
Yeah, it's something that we're fixing because it's really irksome. So we're gonna move. It's not bad on this one. It's the straights. These ones are the ones that really are the killers. So we're moving on the new swamp banks. We're moving these magnets in about a half an inch, 10 a centimeter or something, so that they'll be in. So you'll have the you can go right up to the edge on your terrain trays. But yeah, no, it's really kills me. So this one I'm using the oversized tray to avoid that. Am I? Let's see, you can't really see this. Hold on. Ugh.
Do you have any tips for people that have the regular size trays and are having issues with it?
Um. You could. No, let me figure that out. That's something for next week. I will.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
get it solved for you guys. So anyway, so here, doing this is a little awkward. So the new swell pieces do that so much more elegantly. Right, same, gets you starts and ends in the same place as this, but it does it much more elegantly, and if you use, man, I didn't realize that. I was building this. I didn't realize it's like the perfect demo. It was like the perfect demo setup. So then you can. Oh, let me put this other one here. If I cover up all this white, it's easier on the camera. Get more water. Where is my water?
Do you also have any tips on how to remove the magnets? It's from Major Higgins as well.
I would pry with a sharp. Should I try it right now?
I mean, maybe that's kind of fun.
It sounds dangerous, right? Let's do it.
It's dangerous. Let's hope that Tyler's not watching.
Maybe that helps a little.
And then Odin Forge DM.
Hey, what's up?
Artist formerly known as
Bastard.
Bastard of Gloria.
The less bastard. He's found his father. All right, put on safety goggles.
Was on Twitter the other day and saw this. I wonder if a terrain tray that has rocks, algae, and other underwater things would look good on the transparent current overlays. Not sure if it would, if it works.
What does he mean? Wait.
He was wondering if you could add those kind of accessories to a terrain tray or an overlay on a terrain tray, like rocks, algae, etc.
You could. So one of the going with a small screwdriver. One of the things we've tried to do with the terrain trays is not give them a lot of depth. Like the idea is that we want them to be relatively flat, and the actual sculpted terrain gives the depth. So, like, it just, I don't know, it feels, the fake 3D stuff done in the art of the terrain trays just feels, particularly once you put like real stuff on there, it doesn't feel very real, if that makes sense. But algae, like, we could do an overlay with algae would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be.
You know, like with patchy algae that you could put. In fact, put that on the. Make a note for me in Slack or something.
Algae terrain tray overlay.
No, algae overlay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Why is it all the magnets come out when you don't want them to come out? But
I know, that's why I was kind of like, I asked the question because I was like, this has to be an easy fix, but maybe Goo Gone or something like that.
All right, so a little tiny flathead screwdriver. I was initially trying it with the box cutter, but that's felt like it was just too dangerous. So a little bit of elbow grease, and a little flathead screwdriver. You could pop them out. Definitely chewed it up a little bit.
What brand of elbow grease do you use?
TaylorMade.
Okay, so one brand is superior than most, or is it any elbow grease you can get your hands on?
Yeah, pretty much any elbow grease over the age of 18. Yeah, don't enlist your children.
Generic elbow grease is okay. You will still get your magnet out if you put enough of it in.
Yeah, I recommend Picorni Paints brand elbow grease.
Sure.
Yeah. Elbow grease gray. Oh, yeah, it popped out. So that's one way to do it. You could then, Major Tom, if you want to, if you got some time in your hands, let's say like you're quarantined for the next who knows how many weeks. You could pop your magnets out and let's see how this works.
Wait, if he's Major Tom, are you ground control?
Yes.
Okay, cool. The circuit's dead.
I'm gonna just glue it on here and see if it stays. So you could have a magnet migration.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. That sounds like a band, right? Like a hipster band.
Yeah, I'd listen to them. King Sax asks, would boiling water soften them to save damaging them?
Yeah, for sure. But turns out I don't have boiling water down here. Yeah, you could definitely. It would be probably a lot easier if you dumped them in boiling water first for 20 seconds. Yeah, so then you
You
can
need
just
that quick zip
glue.
thing.
I know, the Zap-A-Gap. Yeah, I do not have that.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm surprised you don't. It seems like your quick fix.
No, I like things to be slow and ponderous.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, turns out.
Okay.
I've got 30 bottles of Gorilla Glue. Remember I had you panic order those too, right? I was like, we need just like all the Gorilla Glue they have before everything shuts down. I need Gorilla Glue.
I have my hand hovering over a button that just says buy more Gorilla Glue for Nate. So I'm sitting ready.
I don't know, I must have 200 box cutter blades, 50 bottles of Gorilla Glue, and 6 more boxes of foam here. So I can, if I got months worth of materials here, hopefully. Although I'll probably run out of foam before I run out of anything else. Well, anyway, you could just glue your magnets on. You could prime out and glue them on, and that would probably fix it. There you go. I solved it. Sort of. You solved it, and I just did it. Yeah. All right. So, what were we doing? We were gonna. All right, we're seeing how these. Oh, here's another fun upgrade. We've got these. See the corner here. The corners are a little square because we were doing them on 3-inch base, so we can use our new big curves to make a more curvedy curve. Yeah. Curvedy curve. Look at that. Ooh. The branch reaching into the. Can you see it in the other camera? I can't tell. That one now.
Yes, you can see it a little bit, but it might help to adjust it to your right.
What's that? This tripod and I are in a fight. Ugh.
What did it do? Just doesn't want to move? Not budge?
Yeah, the tripod release thing isn't releasing it. I don't know.
That looks great.
Is what it is. Yeah. So, all right. So now we get double things here. Here's another one. Is I was regretful that we didn't make. All the banks are pretty. There's a lot of rocks and there's not a lot of flat areas. So we made this one called the landing, which is like super flat. So you could build, you could put your dock there, or your gangplank, or whatever. It's flat, so you could do something like that more easily. Whatever. All right, let's build. If we see these things on dry land, see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then I'll take requests if people want to see what we can do with the banks. I am.
A question we have coming in from Gray Raven is: seems like the forest and swamp banks are fairly interchangeable, huh?
They are. Yes. In fact, by design, right? We wanted, because here's the thing, we sold more of these forest transition banks than we sold anything else in Caverns Deep. So we weren't about to make another set of banks that didn't work. Like, everybody that backed Caverns Deep bought at least one pack of these things. Well, not everybody, but basically we like leaps and bounds more of these than anything else. So if there's a ton of these out there, we wanted to make sure the new stuff would play really nicely with the old stuff. Because if you bought into it, you want to just expand what you can do with it. So now you're gonna have like a huge variety of straights and curves and shorts. There's because there's slightly redundant. There's those 4 pieces. The 4 old pieces are repeated. There's new versions of the 4 old pieces. So then you have variation. You can use.
Question from Neophoias is magnet migration. What type of music would they perform?
Ooh. Mumblecore.
Mumblecore? Cool. I said metal because it's what they're most attracted to, but...
Oh, yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, your answer's better.
But mumblecore is, how did you come up with that one?
No, it's a genre movie.
I know, but like nobody talks about mumblecore, man.
Because it's stupid. Because it's not my cup of tea.
Mumblecore truther over here.
I don't know. Seems just funny. It was the alliteration of magnets and mumble.
I forgot it existed.
Yeah, for good reason. All right, so let's play. Let's pretend. Let's see. Man, this is annoyingly not. Oh, is it? I don't know. Let's see.
Test it out. See how it is before you knock it.
Well, I'm just making stuff up.
Would like to know how well do banks stack so you can have longer slopes, small hills, etc. Works for wargaming as well as RPG.
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
I think I can predict the answer is going to be terribly, but we'll let's find out. No, we have. If nothing else, we can use these guys. The landing. So, other than repetition, okay. You know what we'll do? What's this? We're gonna go. Man, by next week I will have. So I'll have all these. I'll have my arsenal of pieces organized and ready to rock. I'm getting there, but it's not quite all as organized as I'd like.
Chris would like to know if you have a secret mumblecore career that you're hiding from everyone.
Is this Chris London?
Yes, it is.
He's just trying to plug our secret mumblecore band that he's also a member of.
What's it called?
I don't know. He'll have to tell you. It's
all right, Chris, what's the mumblecore band called?
Mumble jumble.
Mumble and grumble, so very close. Well, I don't know if I've told you this more than 5 times yet, but if I were a rapper, my name would be Mumblebee, so maybe I'm Mumblecore. I don't want to join your band, though. I got my own going on.
We can have a battle.
I'll collab with you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I'll go on tour, too. I just, my manager will talk to your manager. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Don't think it's going to work out.
Oh, well, that was sudden and rude.
Yeah, just, there's creative differences.
What possible differences could there be?
We can't get into it.
Okay, well, my new band is actually with Chris. He left your band, and it's called New Water Tiles.
New Water Tiles. That is gonna be. It's got. Oh no. That's
a Chris joke. I can't. That's awesome.
That's a really good. called New Water Tiles. That would be a very popular band with a segment of the population.
So Xander Cleese says, "Too bad you can't pre-order
Xandercleese.
restocks."
No, that's what we're doing. Wait, did he miss the
He
announcement?
must have. Do you want to go over it and like let him know the good news?
Hey, you can pre-order restocks. Woo! We're working on. We just got some cool new software plugin, whatever, and we're working on a pre-order restock solution. So you can literally do just that. You can pre-order the restock.
And if you want, you can join our update site, like our update list at warwindforge.com/wildlands. I'm posting it in the chat now. It's going to give you all the new info and details about our next Kickstarter and things in between.
All the deets.
Including how your band broke up. Maybe it's going to have an insider exclusive. Chris found his Yoko and you found your...
New Water Tiles.
You found your just Paul Simon, I guess.
I think New Water Tiles is one of our singles.
No, because it's my new band. Back off.
Well, your band is named after our first single, I think. It's the...
Well, maybe, but it's ironically. I think your first single sucked and all our hit LPs rock.
LPs. Yeah. This Battle of the Bands is already getting pretty ugly.
Battle of the Boards, man. Tyler says Chris found his Yoko and Nate found his oh no.
He found his... Alright, so I'm gonna go up one more. We're gonna keep going up and up and up. So I went from terrain tray up one floor level, up a second floor level. Oh wait, I should get this on. Oh yeah. Whoa. Whoa. What happened? I lost my monitor for a second. It was scary.
Oh.
You know, funny enough, now I put this
question. What accent, like foreign accent, do you think you can do the best, or do you like to do the most?
Oh, they're all terrible. They're all terrible. Like.
No, you're pretty convincing in some of them. Honestly, I'm just mad about accents because when it happens, I'm just like, I can't. It's like, don't go where I can't follow. I'm horrible about accents. I feel Samwise right in that moment.
I'm fearless with them, but they are just horrendous. Ooh, let's work in it. Yeah, I think my best worst. My in-laws, Talia's sister lives in England, and their family really loves when I do my British accent for them, because it's really...
Well, I want to hear that one, and then we have a few on the lineup in requests on chat. So.
Oh boy. This is not gonna fit.
You'll be able to conquer them all. I believe in you. You got it. And if you can't do it, just blame it on, I don't know, the tiles or something.
I blame it on this. You know, we've been having a lot of creative struggles with our band, and it's been heavily on me.
New Water Tiles' fault. So
yeah, New Water Tiles.
An English one, real quick.
You British accent, right?
Okay.
My name is Rabbit Burner, and I love the Queen and a bit of croquet. And what other British things? I have some tea and a bit of crumpets. I don't know what crumpets are, but
we won't deviate too far, but to stay in the Anglophile section, let's go to the Anglophile Scottish.
Hold on. What?
Oh wait, people are asking you to stop, so maybe
No, see how quickly it ended.
Well, it was great while it lasted.
Like our band.
Yeah, apparently, yep. Rip.
No.
King Sack says Nate's accent in the one shot stream made me laugh and he kept saying "der."
That Selkin. Well, you know what? The good news is Selkin will be back on the 27th for more,
Yeah.
and perhaps there will be more durs, maybe even double durs for him to open. Well, that's right. Chris's character was poking
Oh,
at the dur word too. He was like, "Wait, what?"
yeah. Chris says Nate's accent made me wish we lost the Revolutionary War. So bad.
You know, the problem is once you start laughing at Chris's jokes, you embolden him. Then
No, but I mean it's worth it, and he
it's
will
worth
take
it.
It's like Chris, no more puns for just 5 minutes.
No. I love his puns. They really.
I know he's brilliant.
Yeah. How many floors are it's 1, 2. So we're up 3 floors. How does that look on? Man, I'm gonna switch back to the. No, when we get there, I'll pan over it when we get to the. I'll switch back to the longer lens when we.
Shard says he's liking the hill.
The hill. What the hill? Let's see. Where are we gonna go?
Ha ha ha. What's bordering not kid friendly?
Yeah. I should. How much space do we have left here? Man, what a weird. I'm at a weird denomination. I'm at like 4.5 inches or something. I don't know how that happened. Well, I wanted to put a curvity. Oh. How did I get off? How is this? That's some. You get some loud keys there.
Oh yeah, I'm just figuring out some tunes with my band.
You playing your guitar?
No, not yet. The guitar is sad and lonely in the corner, but
Aww.
it's not ready yet.
Lonely Guitar sounds like a single on your Mumblecore
Wow,
album.
so weird you say that because that's actually my middle name.
Macy Lonely Guitar Griffin.
Yep.
You guys...
I think I called myself Macy because the only people I've talked to recently are people that know me by like my 2-syllable name and not the 1-syllable one.
Yeah, I'm glad you chose Mace as your work name.
I prefer it.
Oh,
I
awesome.
really do.
Yeah, it suits you. I mean, they all suit you. It's your name, but Mace, I don't know. I got a fond spot for that one.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank your parents.
Yeah. I know they picked a dope name for me, and they kind of gave my sister the generic one. So
what's her name? Bessie?
It's Jessica, but she goes by Jess or J Griff, which is very not generic and very
J Griff.
So yeah,
it's a band name.
Yeah, Jessica's a whole one-woman show. She doesn't even need a band.
Wow.
Are those new water tiles? Says Paibok.
Like Liebach?
It's Paibok. So. I think maybe he's seeing the
the banks perhaps are new.
Maybe the banks, but also maybe it's just like the terrain trays with the new overlays on them, kind of look like.
Which ask him where? Yeah, which thing is he indicating, and we can tell him what it is.
Nerd Botchery says my 4-year-old is watching with us now.
Oh yay! Hey, we've been. Wait, first of all, isn't it late? What time? I haven't heard my kids tromping around upstairs, so I assume it's.
I know they've been so quiet.
We've one of the things we want to do, and we've been doing pretty well on this channel, is keeping it family friendly, right? We're checking our language and trying to keep it accessible to all ages, because I don't think there's enough, particularly D&D games stuff. I feel like there's not very much family friendly actual play content. Maybe there is, and I just haven't seen it. So if there is, tell us in the chat. But we've been doing a good job of keeping it pretty clean.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that I've been trying to at least keep people in track with is like entertaining, like I don't know, like the TV show. I think most stuff is like the Muppets or like with like Sesame Street, where it's like there's little nuggets for adults that have to sit and watch for their kids, but then there's a lot of like kid friendly content, and in the end, it's like very clever. So it's like adults still love it, and it's still like very quality, and honestly kids love sitting through it, and it's really the show for the adults.
Boom. Well, this is, where our content is for adults, but I do, I want people to be able to watch it with their kids, because, well, I don't know, I like being able to share what I do with my children, and a lot of our backers, a lot of our fans have children. Let's see. So, we're... this...
Piebox says, sorry, are those new terrain trays? I saw that they had the overlays. The underlying trays.
No, so yes and no. These, nothing new yet, but these are the water terrain trays from Caverns Deep, and then we had the current overlays on them. But there will be new terrain trays coming in Wildlands for sure. We've been kicking around a bunch of cool art for that. Boy, I don't know what I'm building, but I am going up a couple layers. To what end? Who knows? I'm running out of these.
You also have the trunks and the tree branches attachments.
I have, yeah.
Are you gonna have a dead forest?
Maybe. Should we?
Oh, okay. I actually have a question for you. So we asked people for their most like hype for battle or like hype for character playing song was, and I want to know what yours is, or like what, like if you could give only 3, kind of like a desert island for your character.
Well, I've put that. I put one song in the playlist.
Yes, you put one song in, but I want to know 3.
Because that song is awesome, Moria.
Yes.
With like, God,
A lot of people suggested really like fantastic songs, and they don't all fit the same genre, but they all fit the same like overarching purpose of like
just being
going
awesome.
into a new fantasy. Yeah, it's awesome.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't really. I don't think I use music to get me in character.
Oh, what do you use then?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I think about speech patterns.
Okay.
That's a thing, and I think about. Ooh, I want to get some escarpments. I think about I think about motivations, right? Like what, just any of that actor stuff that I just think about. Like what are the things that this character is trying to accomplish, and like what or just not like specifically like kicking down the door, but or like what, like I don't know, bigger picture things of like what are the things that make him or her tick, and just kind of I try and have one or two things if I have one or two things that I can always just fall back on, then that's the, you just can go to that default mode if you ever need it. And I don't know. I like to, costuming is a fun thing I like to play with. That, I mean, certainly in LARPing,
Oh yeah,
throwing
LARPing's
on
a great inspiring force.
throwing on your armor and or your makeup and your, other race or whatever like that
I miss
definitely.
LARPing so much.
Oh, everything in the world's canceled and it's just the worst.
Yeah,
Um,
cancel culture needs to be canceled.
Cancel culture has been canceled officially. Um, what else do I do to?
Do you like watch other characters in like films or anything like that and then be like, I want to harness this person? Or do you like build your character based off of something specific? Like, do you have inspiration before you go to a character, or do you have a character and then go to inspiration? Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it's sort of, I haven't really ever analyzed it. I think I am. I don't know. I think it's. I think it's. You know what it is? I think of a. You're trying to find like a. Like an interesting. A thing that I'd want to be in the head of for like. Like, oh, is this a thing that I would like to spend hours doing?
Mm.
Right, and I guess I just sort of poke around mentally and sort of like maybe I guess I envision scenarios and whether or not and is this like how would this character react to certain scenarios, and would that be interesting to play for prolonged periods of time? I don't know.
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
never really thought about how it I don't know. I think of scenes, like cool scenes that I would do as that character, and
That's
then
good.
I get excited by that.
I mean, what else are you playing for other than to be like in the most intense and like self-gratifying moment in a battle or like in a dialogue? And
Yeah.
like even if you're not always the center or whatever, if you're not the main character, you're at least going to be like kind of satisfied in overarching term just by being able to play out how you need to play out that scene.
Yeah, just one. As long as you have one cool line, you're
Yeah,
okay.
for freedom.
I'm so glad you finally watched Braveheart.
I know, I know. It took like I don't know why I waited so long, but here we are now. I'm a
Here we are.
new person.
We don't need to dwell.
I think I'm inspired kind of like character building wise, and I'm trying to get out of it. But a lot of my characters are driven by my id. Like I'm always either chaotic neutral or like something evil, and I don't like evil characters, obviously. But I'm just always kind of like, how do I channel this like frustration and I get it all out on the table, very casually, like very like
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. And I want to do more like I would love to try a lawful good character. Like Hamster's really good at those too, and I should talk to him about it. But I feel like it's all about ids and stuff for
It's so
me.
funny because I would never describe you in life as chaotic neutral. Like it's funny
Really?
that's why you get gravitate you. Yeah,
What?
yeah.
What do you think I am?
I think you. I think you're neutral good.
Oh, okay. I'll take that.
Yeah. Facts.
Facts. Hashtag facts. FAX. Facts.
Facts. That's another one of our singles.
Oh, so the band's back together?
Yeah, well, just for this one, just one tour.
Just for
Give me
facts.
money.
Hashtag.
All right, so we got. Man, I wish I had slack on the camera. I could handhold the DSLR and walk through this thing. Where did I put those? Oh. we have something here. I don't know what it is. I was gonna build a castle, but that has, I don't know if that's realistic. But we did do a couple of hillish sort of things. So I'll tell you the there we go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's put this guy.
Yak666 would like to know how many terrain trays are on the table.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. But I only really needed 1, 2, 3. I guess I don't know. We'd probably cover this one up. Yeah, they're covered up right now. Yeah, they were just sort of. I put them down initially just to cover up the white modular tabletop, so the camera could actually not. It was yeah, everything. It was blowing out the camera. All right, so let's see if I can get this thing. I'm gonna go to this. So here's what we did. Close cam.
Oh.
Oh boy, hold on. This is a terrible plan. I'm so excited.
It was bad. Oh no. It's a terrible. It's a terrible plan. I'm so excited. It's the most Nate Taylor thing I've ever heard you say.
Well, it turns out aren't all the things I say Nate Taylor things for you?
No, but that's the most like. If you're gonna be like, what's this person like? What's the embodying like kind of thing going on? It's like bad plan, love to execute.
Yeah. Okay.
You like or you like crazy ideas, not bad ideas. Just like you like crazy ideas.
You know why I like crazy ideas? I like thinking. When people think outside the box. And
what's in the box?
It's Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
It is.
Yeah.
It's goop.
All right. So this is the sort of the winding river over here. All right, and then this was our. I have very little slack, so I can't go any further forward. But this is our terrain tray, first level, going up a second level, going up a third level, going up to escarpments. So it's not flawless. Like you can definitely see there's some, things are not perfectly flat. So there's definitely a few little cracks under, but it still look cool on the table. It's still pretty playable. Looks like there's a lot of flat gameable. You can put minis in many places here. That one's a little many minis.
That's my single. That's coming out.
Many minis.
In May, yeah.
We could put some trees on there too, which I did. Here. Tree on there. Then I guess we can't see anything once you put a tree in. Woo. Too hard with one hand. But these guys in particular are good for stacking. So we did 1, 2, 3 layers up. Boom, 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 boom. What else should we try with these banks?
I like the clearing you have with the terrain tray into the bank.
Yeah, we're well, you can get a lot of coverage cheap. The terrain tray gives you a lot of table coverage cheap, or you can use your bat on that, whatever.
Azure Cobalt says, "I love it. Let's roll initiative."
We'll use those high variance dice, or low variance, high spike dice.
It's high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
You're gambling. It's a dice for gamblers, which genuinely very interested in that dice. I am a gambler, but I love peaks.
Yeah, the spikes. That's where everything gets
Yeah,
exciting.
I feel like
Everybody's
it would be the same. Like, I feel like that's just a fun dice. Like, there should be a
yeah.
game that's all high risk, high reward, and then I don't know. I feel like it'd be a lot more fun.
Well, Toby was like kicking around this idea of like giving special dice as a reward in the game, so you could have like a D12 that was skewed went higher than a 12. Like it was like the lowest number was a 4 or something, and it was went from 5 to 16 or something, so you guaranteed higher rolls, or you could, and it would be like one shot you'd get to use, that was the damage for your one big hit with your great axe or whatever, and you rolled that, and then I don't know, something that was kind of a neat idea that he was kicking around like a year ago, and similar to the spiky the variance dice, or maybe that's a thing, like maybe there's an encounter, right? There's an encounter where you have to only use the spike dice.
Wow, how cool to like not only whip out terrain, but then whip out also like, okay, and you can't use your own D20s. You have to use
Yeah,
these.
these are, well, in this place, like your the magic is different, or the physics are different, or the whatever.
Or something. Wow,
Yeah.
so cool. Cool.
So what do we have? Let's do one more quickie before we run out of time here. What else do we want to try with these banks? What's on the menu, viewers, intrepid viewers?
So I guess before they start commenting that, Mad Roboticist says, any hints on what else is coming besides swamps and waterfalls?
Mountains and forests. And that is all I will say for now. I mean, we don't know, we don't know when we're launching just yet, so we can't give everything away yet, but there will be a variety of dangerous outdoor terrain that will want to kill you. You know what I said about my kids? I hear them thumping around now, so I don't know.
Oh, you do?
Yep. They were, turns out they're not at all. Yeah, what is it? Any requests on what we want to try with banks? What do we,
Finley Shard says, is there a Muddy Bog style terrain tray coming?
For sure. We're going to have some some nice options for doing cool swampity stuff and whatever. Although, we did the other day this works. Let's do the quicksand works surprisingly well. Actually, let's see if I can slide that in without destroying the entire world here. Yeah. No, I'm gonna destroy the entire world.
While you're slipping it in, Neopholia wants to know, is ruins maybe ? In the new Kickstarter?
We'll see what happens.
And then, will the overgrowth in the area maybe some sort of abandoned ruin tower? With the overgrowth, sorry.
The overgrowth.
I think he's doing a terrain suggestion.
Oh yeah, feed like ruins into wilderness into ruins.
And then Azure
like
Cobalt says, I'd like to see more forested elevation. Mix in a castle builder tower.
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah, I want to, what did I do before? Something like yay. What did I have down there? Oh, nothing. This, aha! You were here.
Also, Mojo Hamster subscribed for 2 months at tier 1.
Really?
Yes.
Hamster, where do you get these funds in a pandemic? We're like, save your
Save your cash. Ed L. Griff, which is short for Griffin, says, how about a vertical underground exploration?
Vertical underground exploration? What is that?
I'm not sure. Maybe it like goes up like a tower would, or maybe it spirals down. Not sure. DMing Games.
Yeah, look at that. The quicksand is kind of like a neat. I don't know.
Very cool.
For now,
lots of contrast too.
We have cool ones though. We have cool stuff coming. I can't wait to show some of the. Yeah, we got some train tray excitement in the works. All right, so we want to get a castle tower in here for sure. Let's do. Yeah, sorry.
Games says, could we have a higher riverbank that obscures line of sight from those crossing crossing the bridge, a kind of area that a bandit might hide instead of under the bridge.
Yes, let's do that. So it's got a castle tower and a bandit ambush point. And let's see how fast we can do this.
King Sax asks, a grotto?
A grotto? You know what? I'm not going to go underground right now.
Are we going back to accents? Because I can give you the list of lineups for you to try.
There's a list of lineups. Man, we lost them.
There was Scottish. There was
Scottish.
I forget the other ones. I mean, don't try it if you don't want to. There's no pressure, man.
No pressure.
No pressure, man. I will say one of my favorite things is hearing people with other dialects and from other regions trying an American accent.
Oh, it's
because they
hilarious.
always say cheeseburger, and it's like you're right, but also it's like you know how much they think of you when their word of choice is cheeseburger.
They're not wrong.
No, they're not.
The other one is dude. Need a cheeseburger, dude.
Very American.
Yeah, I do love me my cheeseburgers.
They're top 5 for me for sure.
Yep.
King Sax says, my kids always use American accents when they play.
Where are you from, King Sax? All right, cool.
They haven't commented yet, but...
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a delay, isn't there?
There's
and I can't actually.
There's a delay between you and me, and then between the viewers.
Yeah, you can't actually have
They're from Australia.
Oh.
Yeah. Meanie.
Oh, jeez, what did I do? Yeah, I forgot. You can't really actually have a real conversation on Twitch in real time. Huh.
You can have a delayed conversation. Like, think of it as visiting a nursing home versus like visiting someone at your age.
All right, I like it. It's just a little slower.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Just like, give them time and patience, and then it'll pay off.
I like.
Finley Shard says it's like when people do English accents and say things like crumpet.
I just did that.
I know. I think he's referencing you.
You just say all this stupid,
My favorite Anglophilism that I've learned recently is at the end of text, people will put like XX, kind of like kiss kiss, and then just send it, and it's so cute. I love
Kiss kiss.
Is that Julian from Trailer Park Boys Hell and Head? Says Ananax.
Wait, what? What?
Julian from Trailer Park Boys, Helen in Head.
Helen in Head?
Hell in Head.
Helen Head? I'm totally lost.
Have you seen Trailer Park Boys?
No.
Okay.
So that's why I'm lost.
Maybe. I've seen all of Trailer Park Boys, and I still don't know what Helen Head is, but maybe I'm just
what's Trailer Park Boys?
Oh my God, you would love it. Think like if Jay and Silent Bob are like a little bit trashier and have a third
Trashier? Okay, and have what?
A third amigo.
Okay. Jay, Silent Bob, and me get to go hang out in...
Well, I mean, okay, sure.
Okay, I'm in.
And they live in a trailer park, and they cause all kinds of ruckus, but it's a fun time. I love Trailer Park Boys.
Where does one find these
it's on Netflix.
My stilts. Boy, I did not do this the most efficient way possible, but
What's going on?
I'm just doing stat. No, it's nothing at all. It's just fun. I'm doing stilts on stilts on stilts, which is great.
That is fun.
Yeah, I love stilts.
So if you, Nate Taylor, an hour ago would have foresaw this, how would you have fixed it?
I would have used some terrain trays.
Oh, instead of just and stilts.
Yeah, like right now, where is it? I have like I could have saved a lot if I'd used more terrain trays. Um, it's fine. It's like it's all part of the fun.
So with tips like that, like using terrain trays before you build up on a
Yeah.
massive
What
scale, are there any other hints that you have about building that are maybe not as obvious until after you start building?
what I like to do, like if you can if you can kind of figure out what you're if you're when you're doing elevation, if you can figure out, oh, I want like a high thing here, medium thing here, low thing here, whatever. You can just build the rough tiers with terrain trays and stilts, and then dress
Mhm.
around them and go from there, rather than just sort of free form, just went for it. Which is
Smart.
yeah, it's better to actually plan it a little bit, but you know.
Major underscore Higgins says, question. I noticed Devil Newts have a pre-order option on the Woven Forge website. Will this feature be added to the other terrain sets in the future, or is this just a one-time thing?
No, we're working on pre-order for a bunch of stuff.
So the good news is people are noticing the pre-order. The bad news is people haven't heard us announce the pre-order.
Well, the it shouldn't be. Maybe that was a test that Johanna was doing with something she thought no one would notice. Um, but yeah, we're working on some pre-order options, and obviously it won't be our whole catalog, but we're getting there. All right, so we're gonna do a little tower thing here, and then I'm gonna set up a bandit ambush here. And you know what I'm gonna do, just because I don't have a 4-inch tower easily handy, but we're gonna go bandit heavy.
Yeah, go bandit.
Go bandit.
Also, it's a minute till 9, just letting you know.
Time is flying when you start building.
Time flies when you start twitching.
That's what they say, right?
They've said it since the dawn of time. That's the first phrase that came out.
The first phrase that came out
Yeah,
when phrases
actually,
were being invented.
what?
When phrases were being invented.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
people argued like about language and about like the earliest occupation, they were like, "Well, one thing is settled that we can all agree upon.
We got one thing.
We got one phrase that we all know is tried and true." So, yeah, that was it.
What was that?
It's a phone chime.
No, it was a. That's weird. It's a message from hours ago, I think, unless it's new. I don't know. It could be a box of test shots. Actually, it's.
Ooh.
Yeah, Talia was texting me. There's a big heavy box outside, but I thought that was from before, but I could be wrong. I don't know why I have a letter. Whatever. But it could be.
Finley Shards would like to know, in the Banks pack, are there going to be sufficient pieces to make a number of small islands / raised areas on terrain trays? In essence, the need for enough pieces that allow a quote closed unquote island area surrounded by terrain rather than the negative build.
Right, like a positive
Right.
negative space build.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't remember offhand what quantities I put in all this stuff, but it's like there was a lot in the banks. The oh man, I don't want to change this now. Ugh. The banks pack, the banks mega pack, is gonna have a lot. It's gonna have a lot. Like I don't remember. It's like 2.5 or 4 times the size of a regular pack, and it'll have a good number of outside. The problem is it's like we're trying to have the packs do both things, so it's like there's an even mix of the outside corners and the inside corners. So you may, if you're doing islands, you're gonna end up with some bunch of extra of these unless you're doing dog leg things and whatever. But yeah, the mega pack is gonna have a ton of stuff for you, so you can get crazy.
Woo.
Alright, I'm just going for the. I'm raising everything up one tray.
All right.
because it was time.
So in these situations where you have to kind of like unbuild something that
Mm-hmm.
you've already built and like, but like need to emphasize it or like build it up a little bit more, what are your tips? Like, walk us through as you build it up one more level.
All right, so I was realizing I want to raise this whole thing. I've got the waters here. Like we shouldn't go back down to terrain tray level here, and then I realized it might be more exciting to just go up to, if we're already going up, like we're trying to play with these banks anyway. I'm just gonna go up another bank height. Oh, I should use a forest terrain tray, huh? Man, I sorted all the terrain trays and started shoving them in that big sorter, and then realized I couldn't lift the thing. And then, I got one. And then threw them all back on the floor because I wanted to show it off on camera to thank everybody for helping us find it. And so next week I will have these terrain trays really sorted. It's gonna be very exciting. All right, so I'm basically I realized I could save myself some pieces and some height if I slotted a terrain tray in at this height because I knew I wanted to be one bank level off the ground. Basically, anytime I could sort of you can fill up the space underneath with terrain tray and stilts, you're saving yourself a lot of pieces, slash space and time and yada yada yada. And then I'm working on height, right? I want to do a bunch of verticality because it just always looks more exciting. Man, I use so many stilts, by the way, just as a general. They're not an exciting piece, but they are so useful. Oh, and this thing I was using instead of a castle tower, because I didn't have one handy. I'm doing like a little bandit, like a wooden thing. Can you see that? On the Stairway to Violence, with a. We'll get over there and show it. Taking a city builder. Oh wait, this is. I didn't even have the fourth post. I gotta swap that one out. But I used the half posts and then the gang planks around to make like a little ramshackle fort topper.
Well,
Then,
stilts unpainted also and stilts painted are both still available. I just wanted to tell everybody in chat.
woohoo!
Woo!
Do you love me those stilts? And then I threw that on top of another one upside down, and then put a ladder in there so we can make it's like a little, little lookout. All right, so we're gonna do some banks here to get us up here, and then we have to do a little ambush point. And then let's see, do we go? Ooh, do we do a ravine? Let's see what happens.
Ooh, into the ravine.
Let's try it. See what it brings us.
Oh, we got a big ask on chat. Okay, name is how about a few rounds of Gwent? I'm going to be DMing for a few friends and work colleagues in the near future. Gathered plenty of minis and now am looking at scenery options for a haunted forest, ruins, underdark kind of campaign. Where would y'all say is the best place to start in terms of terrain? Should I go right in with the starter sets like the cavern one? Is it better to work my way towards this kind of more ornate scenery a bit more gradually? This is all still pretty new to me.
All right. Well, so the first question is like it's probably going to be debilitatingly expensive to buy everything for everything, right? So I would start with what are your key combat encounters? Like what are the like what's the big showdown? Like where do you want to what's the big fight? If you were going to build out one big combat encounter, what would it be? And then I would start with that, right? So if that's the big fight with the boss at the end of the dungeon, then I would start with some dungeon sets, like enough to build out that one really cool fight. Like give your players like just a stellar, memorable battle. And then I don't know. That's I'd start there. Maybe, and then if you're like, see what that costs. You see what your budget is, and then if you're like, okay, well, that's half my budget. Then I'd go to figure out what your next, what's the next sort of big, exciting encounter that you would do, what that would be, and I'd then price that one out and build that one. And my reco. Where are the other swells? Do I know I have more swells? My recommendation, if you're gonna do at the Aranthor Mountains, is one of the most versatile sets we have. You can just build like those rocks. You know what? Let's bring some over in. Right, these things let you build so many. You can do caves with them. You can do cliffs with them. You can use them as rock scatter in the woods. Like, they are. I'm gonna use them right now. Let's see. Is this too low? Oh, we should have been one floor height. Oh, now I'm regretting this terrain tray.
Well, make magic with the mundanity that you have.
Do I want to go up one more level just to? My thought was I could do a.
Yeah, do it.
All right.
The extreme.
Yeah. Yeah. So Aranthor Mountains is a really good versatile set. What else did he say was in the? They said it was Underdark, Woods. What, like, it was everywhere. Right?
It was Haunted Forest, Ruins, Underdark, kind of campaign. Honestly, like, I don't know. My thing with any starting with terrain, genuinely, I think going with a dungeon is kind of a great way to start. Even if it's not part of your campaign, it just kind of gives you a feel for the terrain. Maybe you'll use it. Maybe you're kind of like, okay, this was a one and done, or like I want to make a diorama of it. But I mean, the game is Dungeons and Dragons that a lot of people play, and it is very versatile, and it shows you kind of like how modularity works with building a room.
Yeah, no, you can't go wrong with a dungeon.
But
you know what you could do also is you could do dungeons and we have the ruined dungeon pieces from that were in Caverns Deep, so you could get some dungeon pieces and then some ruined dungeon pieces to build. You could build your ruins using the ruined dungeons, and then use have the regular dungeons to flesh out the ruins, but then also use the dungeons to build a dungeon. Slash, you can always have a dungeon in the Underdark.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I think that starting out with something that can be the basis of a room, especially like with the ruined part, it kind of gives the illusion. It could be above ground or underneath ground, especially with the caverns pieces. So
yeah, it's true. You could build some spooky wood stuff with the caverns pieces also, if you were so inclined.
Ooh, Nerd Botchery says, Nate builds so quick he is like the Bob Ross of Dwarven Forge. It wouldn't take me much longer going back doing touch-ups and changes before it looked as good as what he does on the first run. Crazy.
I can build faster if I'm not talking. That's I'm sort of lamenting mentally that I'm like, this is just such a ponderous exercise, because I'm trying to think and talk and build. Like, I can't. I discovered that when we were doing the other thing. I'm gonna go up one more level. Darn it.
I think in time you're gonna get it sorted out where it's just muscle memory, but you're the Jeff Gordon of terrain building.
I cut a TV commercial with Jeff Gordon.
No way.
Yeah, it was not a good one. It was for the Power for Living, like some religious book thing that he was really into.
You know what is the thing that surprised me the least about that sentence is that it was not a good one, and the rest of it I was like, oh, makes sense. Oh, makes sense. And then, oh, really? Oh, yeah, makes sense. Follow suit.
Yeah. I did what? I did another. I did a. What was the? Oh man, I did a Domino's
I'm
commercial with some NASCAR dude. Oh, what was his name? I don't know. It was his whole family eating, and they had like a pit crew prepping their.
It's not Ricky Bobby.
No, like a real one.
Wait, okay, so if you had to pick a fast food style pizza,
Fast
what
food.
would you
Oh,
pick?
Domino's for sure.
Okay, good. You're
Yeah.
you're a solid guy, and that's how I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Domino's is 100.
Oh yeah. The sausage and pepperoni Domino's pizza.
Have you
Sold.
tried their pan pizza?
I don't know.
Like if Deep Dish had a step cousin that was like really cool.
I mean, deep dish is already really cool. So how, I don't know how you
Yeah,
get
but
even
Deep
cooler.
Dish just takes a long time and is a whole new level of like intricate and like caloric. But it's like if Deep Dish were more like morphed into like a regular pizza.
Sounds good. I'm
It's
in.
very good. How about a few rounds of Gwent says the big fight would definitely be in the Underdark position, starting with the mountain set and some starter cavern bits to start off with sounds good. The dungeon set is probably more versatile for the ruin slash tower parts. Guess it'll depend on how I can fit in my budget.
Yeah. Arendor, like you can do those. The mountain pieces are just they're all stars. Oh man, I have these corners. I don't know. The
Oh, well, okay.
how what?
Sorry.
What?
You were gonna say that you did a Domino's commercial with which
I don't know.
NASCAR person?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay.
Why would
Well, I was just thinking about the KFC commercial that you talked about.
I did oh the flavor spike chicken.
Yeah.
I did I did a KFC commercial with what's his name, Jason Alexander.
Oh shit.
Stupid.
I mean, oh shit.
Ah! A
Ah!
7 second delay.
I know. Beep.
Yeah.
That works
Totally,
like that.
totally dodged that one. Man, now I have to go up a level here.
That's cool.
Um, yeah, he's turns out he's a funny guy.
Hmm.
What was that the NASCAR guy's name? Man, and I somehow have some weird 1 inch offset on everything, which is really making this ugly. But I don't know.
I'm gonna say something and it might sound
Uh
bad, but I mean it only as the highest compliment ever, but it kind of reminds me of Survivor, like the island on Survivor.
I haven't seen Survivor, but
Oh, well, great. It's the best reality TV you could ever get because reality TV is bad, but basically you walk up to an island, you have to capture an idol, and then it's like real stakes like surviving in the wilderness.
yeah, I would love that. I would be so good at that.
Yeah, you would. You have cargo pants. Like that's enough to like already be like prepared.
Yeah, no, I would love. That sounds awesome. So they have an island that has bandit forts and stuff on it.
It's an island that a lot of people go to. I think there's sometimes celebrities or they just audition, but basically they all have to survive, live in not, I would not say a community, but live with other people on the island. Sometimes they form a community and sometimes they all form like, I don't know, teams and like just being mad.
They're
I
just
don't know. It's
mad.
very entertaining.
There's 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 a lot of like politics, right? Aren't people like backstabbing and
Yes,
whatever?
and
Yeah.
they get to vote each other off at the end of it. So you have to be careful with like what
Who you
battles.
betray and like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very conniving.
Great. Yeah, I wouldn't like the conniving part, but I would love
The
like
surviving part.
yeah, trying to do a Swiss Family Robinson sort of thing and like, set up
You should
the
try that survival camp that Michelle Tom was talking about in
yes.
August.
Yeah, it sounds maze.
But this looks great.
I need like there's a bunch of I don't know. It's a sketch, but we're could mask that here. I don't know if it's showing as much of the versatility of the banks as I would have loved. But, oh wait, here's what we're gonna do. We're going up one more. We're just going up. We're going up. I'm running out of 12 mil stilts, and I have a lot of them. But it's good. We're gonna do this. Do this. All right. Did somebody have a question that we've missed? Did we finish that? He asked about his locale. We guess we got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I missed one.
So I guess
I'm switching back and forth between thinking brain and talking brain.
it's hard to balance both, but if you were to
Try chewing gum and walking. That's really what's.
Yeah, try patting your stomach and rubbing your head, or
What? That's witchcraft.
maybe it's the other way around, but
Yeah.
try doing all of that
No.
and then doing something. Not that anybody has tried, but I'm sure there's a Guinness Book of World Records. So, inspiration, you try to start, showed earlier with like building up with terrain traits, kind of doing like a geographical math kind of thing. Are there anything like any other things?
Yeah. So like a kind of a Minecraft, right? Like you just kind of a block approach of like, what are the basic steps that you're doing, and then you fill in the rest. Oh yeah. Lots of stilts. That's my.
Do you look at the encounter and see like, oh, it would be cool if they tripped at this hole, or do you like look at the build and then say like, oh, it'd be cool to build an encounter around this tree, or do you do both?
Both, right?
Okay.
First, you have your thing like your, whatever whatever you're trying to accomplish, and then you have the, wouldn't it be cool if, or whatever, like once you start playing with it, then it's like, oh, we could add this or that, or, oh, I didn't see this little thing here, or you notice the little thing on the terrain, oh, there's this, whatever, there's a puddle here that could be a thing, or there's this whatever, looks like there's a mushroom on this one, maybe we'll make that a thing, or make anything you can make into a thing, make it into a thing.
Cool.
That's some strong advice. Things you can make into a thing, make it into a thing.
It's good to draw inspiration from both, though. I think that's a good point.
Yeah. Well, you need to have an idea what's the encounter about before you, right? Like, what's the purpose of this? Why did we drag the PCs here?
How about a few rounds of Gwent also responded with, I was looking at mats by Mars for some basic flooring and then adding bits of Dwarven Forge for additional bits, at least for the forest. I'd love to have something like he's building now, but mid-pandemic, I don't think that I have a budget.
Yeah.
Probably take the caverns bits to really emphasize the conclusion, ending on a cool and dramatic note with the final boss fight and the lead up.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. You can get, there's a lot of, you can definitely do a lot with a battle mat, and just a little bit of our Dread Hollow Forest stuff, for sure. Or you could jump in on our upcoming Wildlands Kickstarter.
Yes, I'll post the link in the doobly-doo.
Whenever that's gonna launch at some point in the thing. All right, this is doing something.
Best stepmom ever asks, is your story ready before your build, or do you build and then your story? Which is kind of what we just talked about.
Yeah, some of it, like, I kind of have, like, oh, here's where this fight's going to be at a thing, whatever. And then you start building, you're like, oh, we can put a ravine here, or whatever. We still don't have a good ambush point, right? There was...
Mm-hmm. Finley Shard says, I'm now waiting to do a multi-level build where there is a hill with a lake on top, where I could use a terrain tray for the lake, remove it for the player to jump in, and then have an underwater section ready underneath for the final encounter.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
I'm so in.
It's very innovative, too. To have them actually able to, like, delve beneath the terrain.
Yeah. What was Justice did that that really cool build with the plexiglass elevated up. It was like yay high. I was thinking it had pillars and stairs and had a whole layer up there with plexiglass like a foot above the floor. It looked just sick.
Yeah, really. I know what one you're talking about too. He hasn't logged on yet, by the way, but we can wish him our best after the stream.
We can wish him our best at any time, I guess.
Well, we're always wishing the best, but we can tell
That's
him
true.
it verbally after.
Right? Give him verbal high fives.
Yeah.
On social media. Free high fives.
That's the band name once I go mainstream is Verbal High Fives, because I'm like, I can't do metal anymore. I'm all rough, toughed out.
Well, that's right now. That's all we get are verbal high fives because you can't. There's no contact. But.
Right. Ugh. Not very metal.
No, pandemics are not as metal as you'd think. Turns out.
Yeah. It does turn out.
It does turn out.
It does. Science says it turns out.
All right. Well, let's look at this. Still not like. What do I do? Move with that. I'm gonna do this guy here with this. All right, that works sorta. Ooh, and then we could put. I don't like this tree, but. Do something. All right.
Lee Shard says Carathay or give them a piece to build their own home/stronghold that's about to be attacked.
That's fun. Right? Give them a bucket of castle pieces and like a 15-minute timer and say, okay, build the castle and the orcs are on their way. Yeah. That's a fun one. Man, can we have a contest where I get to go and play a D&D game with different backer? Each whoever wins, they get to run a game for me, and I just get to play it.
If you actually want that, I'll totally set it up. Let's do that. Yes.
I just want to go play at these people's houses with these yeah.
So if you build at 15,000, you won't get a dice, but you will get to play with.
No, you get to run a game for me. You don't even win anything. You're just like, I just come to your house. I'll bring like a 6-pack of cider, and we'll play some D&D. Because I want to do that.
A contest for that would be very cool.
A contest where I get to play D&D.
A contest for I'm bringing cider and you're bringing game.
Yeah. I'll bring a prototype piece. We'll sign it for you or something.
Carathay says if we build it, Nate will come.
Yes, the field of dreams.
Finley wants to know if he has to pay for travel as well.
Is Finley in Europe? Am I making this up? Where's Finley?
I think he is in Europe. Yeah, but I'll wait for him to confirm. He's in the UK. Yes.
Oh, that's why he loved my accent. I'll do some accents.
I don't know if love is the word, but he commented on it.
Yeah. All right, let's look at this thing. All right, so I'll have to when I go visit my in-laws. We'll come. All right, so we got is this thing working out? So this was the bridge. So I figured here's our ambush points, right? We've got, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a let's put a sneaky rabbit there and a sneaky Gygax. Oh, come on, there you go, buddy. All right, so we've got our Alright, so you got your little, you see Sneaky Rabbit hidden back there?
A
So that's
tiny
like,
ear. Yeah.
yeah, that's one
His guys.
little hidden point. And then over on this side, we got Gary Gygax is hiding out over in the ravine. The ravine's not working. I need to move this up. Needs to go up one more floor height, but I didn't have it in me, so it could kind of match that over here. What we could have done is, if we were really clever, we could have gone up one more. Look at this. Oh, we would have had this at this height. Boom. And then, I can't hold it. And then you build the banks up one more. Like that looks. I don't have a good light for it, but it looks, when you put the banks on top of Aaron Thor, works like a champ. I should have done that, but we didn't get there. I don't know. And then this is the little hideout up there with the ladder coming up, coming off the Stairway to Violence kind of a thing, and then we go back up over there. I don't know. It's not it does the trick for what it is, but it's kind of a jumble. I might revisit it in the morning though, when have a little time. No, so it's sort of, you can definitely use these banks to do, give yourself some elevation changes. Some of it's a little messy, like this is, but there's some interesting things like you could do. This is just Aaron Thor on top of the existing banks, and then going up to.
I think Aaron Thor is probably the most it's the most adaptable for any situation because it's just rocks and it's like the least appreciated also.
Well, you can just, you can do underwater stuff. You can do.
It does it all.
You can do you can do caves. You can do underwater. You can do just forest rocks. You can do desert rocks. You can do alien planets.
Do space, which is something entirely new. Well, not entirely new, but it's something that I don't know. It's hard to get a lot of terrain doing that, and the fact that we have Aaron Thor doing that, it's very exciting for me because I personally very space heavy.
Well, also we're gonna expand on it in the next Kickstarter. So, if you're buying in on one new thing, the mountain set's not a bad one.
Yak666 would like to know what LED piece is in that. I think he means the flashlight.
In this, the only LED piece on here is the Stairway to Violence, right?
Right. And it's the bone one?
Yeah, it's the bone torch on the Stairway to Violence there. Which makes a great place to perch your little bandit hideout.
Hella Fur says, great build as always, Nate.
Playing, just showing you some ideas. Glad you enjoy. Wait till Wildlands. We'll get some. Got a bunch of. We have some really fun builds to cook up for you.
Is there a piece that you have found that unexpectedly works really well together with a lot more pieces than you wanted it, or not wanted it to, but expected it to?
I think, the Aaron Thors fall into that. Like, these rocks just suddenly go everywhere.
Yeah, they do.
What was the other? There's another piece that I was recently just using all the time.
I personally am I'm very surprised by what the city builder can actually do besides just building a city. Sometimes
these gangplanks I love.
Oh yes,
I use these things for everything, right? Because you just make up bridges. You can do little walls or barricades. You can dress them up like they're just. I don't know. These things are. We should almost have just a pack of gangplanks because they are.
I don't know if
awesome.
I've seen them used as a wall before, so that's exciting.
You know the other one you can do, which is just during the day. Let's see. I don't have enough of them, but you can. I'm sure somebody's done this. Where you can take the bridge. The suspension bridge makes a pretty good palisade. Right, and you can use this as the doorway. kind of work that in there.
Yeah, that looks great.
Right, like you can.
Can you intersect the docks with that also?
How so? I'm sure you
I
could.
mean, if it's peg based and the docks are also peg
Oh yeah,
based,
you
maybe.
could peg them all. Yeah, but you can do like I don't know. I should do a little build out with. I don't know. You can definitely make a interesting sort of palisade thing. Oh, I was taking. You know what I took? Wait, I gotta put this down.
That looks cool though.
Wait. Take this guy.
Mm, blood.
The you can take the wooden portcullis. Oh, this is a hole back there. But if this was that floor height, it's all kind of a mess right
Whoa.
now. You
I'm
can
suddenly transported to an Ewok forest.
yeah, you can put it in the back there as a little gateway, or you could like just put up here and make something nice gate. I should do a little palisade build. That's what I'll do next. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Something fun to play with. All right, I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
We'll go to bed. There was something else I wanted to show them about the banks. I was like, oh, it'd be great to demonstrate.
While you're
how
thinking of that, don't forget. I know this is the fourth time, but it is a huge reminder. People always ask us for updates, and we're going to give them to you anytime you ask. But the best way to figure out those answers to your questions is actually to subscribe to our Wildlands page at dwarvenforge.com/wildlands. I'll post it in the chat. I'm going to remind you every week because it's a shortcut to life.
It's a shortcut to life. It is. And it's a shortcut to the best parts of life.
Yeah, the Dwarven Forge parts of life.
Yeah. No. Well, let's get this thing. Ooga, ooga, ooga.
Is that a David Hasselhoff song you're singing?
That was me trying to move a light. All right. Oh, good. Lower there.
You're not hooked on a feeling by any means.
There.
Just checking. Just check.
Just checking. All right. Well, I think that wraps up. I feel like there was something else we were supposed to do tonight. I can't remember. I don't know.
Don't forget about Wormwood's Kickstarter right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'll look at my notes to see if maybe there's something I can remind you of. Thank you for tuning in as every week. It's so great to build a community with the people that support us and now actually put a face and I don't know, a personality to the name. It's cool to see you guys in chat. Thank you for tuning in.
Send us a picture of your face. I want to. Oh wait, I want to see people. Yeah, I don't know what many people look like.
I know. I don't either. But maybe if we do the Nate Taylor.
I'm gonna come to your house and play D&D.
Yeah. You provide scrumpies and then he will come.
What's this? Oh, it's Scrumpy Cider. No, I know some. I mean, actually one of the nice things about conventions is getting to meet people in person and see their face and say, oh yeah, you're so and so that said all these things. It's awesome. Anyway, and yes, community building is awesome. You are right, Mace. We love.
I mean, it's my favorite part for sure. Is just actually hearing from it. It doesn't feel like the void where sometimes social media does. It feels like people that are yelling back at you, and then it becomes like a mirror or a weird echo, and then beyond the echo it becomes a friend you have.
Ooh. Is that poetry?
I mean, yeah, it's not slam, but it's bopping. It's no. It's just fun to hear from you guys. Feel free to post photos, inspiration, and suggestions in Discord or Facebook or Twitter. If you didn't win the giveaway tonight, I'm sorry. We have giveaways every week, so your chances are not slim. Actually, they're in favor with you. And if you don't want to do it on the Twitch stream, we have it on the Facebook stream. Right now, we're at 897. Our goal is 1,000, so we are 103 away. Very close.
And send us your photos. Let's put up. I want to put up a photo each week. We can show
Yes.
it.
Okay. Yeah. I
Another
added that to our
yeah,
stream
build
lineup where we
photo.
have a highlighted photo each week. So send us your photos and maybe we'll highlight it. We'll have the best of the best on, which is all the photos. But
All.
we'd love to see them.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we I don't know, we just enjoy. Thanks for spending some time with us, and there's a lot of places you could be putting your eyeballs. Thanks for putting them here, and it's nice. It's nice to have a little contact with humanity in the midst of this pandemic. So
Yeah.
thank you for dropping into the chat and giving us questions and ideas, and it's helping us form this Kickstarter and form our builds and whatnot. I love it. We greatly appreciate your support. And just and keep playing D&D. Have fun. We'll see you next week. Do we know when Aaron's stream is next week? The paint.
Aaron's stream is on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it starts at the same time. It's just on Tuesday. We do still have an On the Anvil the following day, so we have a lot more content next week. This week was kind of bare, but it's been kind of hard to readjust with
And then the following week,
but we have plenty of stuff for you next week.
And the following week we have D&D.
Yeah.
And So anyway, let us know what other content you'd love to see on this channel. Let us know what content you'd like to see on the Anvil. Just let us know your thoughts. We're listening. We love to have the conversation. And we'll see you next week. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye there, guys.
Woo.